We had someone give us an unpopular take that is fittingly, their username is JJ for Heisman, and they say you can't build a program through NIL. And then they put in parentheses, Ohio State. So very clear where this tweet is coming from an allegiance standpoint. But to be honest, like what they're saying is very true. You cannot build a program through NIL. Things that win in college football, culture, alignment, coaching, competitiveness, all those things, like those are kind of cliches to talk about, but they're absolutely true. And I'm not trying to throw shade here, but you look at Texas A&M, that was an example of why this tweet is true. You cannot win with NIL and NIL alone. But I would say on the other side of that take, you can build a roster through NIL. And to me, roster talent is a lot like tickets. Like if you have the roster talent, you have a way to get there. You mean your ticket is punched. You have a chance to get in the building and be able to be a part of the show. However, it doesn't guarantee that you're there. You still got to do the work to get ready, to get there, to drive on over, to take the path to get to the show. Like there's still a lot of things you have to do, but if you have the roster talent, you have your ticket in the door. And so for Ohio State, as this question is asking, like all I see them doing is improving their roster. And that was never the question for me of, is the roster good enough? But I know for sure it's good enough now. But I think the implication here is that, okay, well, you can build a roster, but Ryan Day, is he the guy? To me, just because they haven't done it yet doesn't mean they're not capable. Because Ryan Day, has he struggled against Michigan? Sure. Totally fair. But you know what he has done? Create culture, create buy-in, and he's got a great winning percentage. He's won north of 85% of his games. I've seen guys play for Ryan Day. That Notre Dame game, man, when it's the game and goal to go, they hand the ball off to Chip Train and he gets in the end zone. Like you could tell by how they celebrated, that was a team that was together, that was playing with the same vision in mind, that had buy-in to Ryan Day's way of doing things. Like, I don't think there's up for debate as to what he's created from a team standpoint. So I see Ohio State using NIL as a tool and not so much as the answer to their problems. You can't use NIL just to build a roster and say that's how we're going to win college football games. There's too many more things that go into that. But that's not what Ohio State's doing. Ryan Day is utilizing NIL to the nth degree to say, okay, we need to put the very best roster together to accomplish our goals. More power to him. More power to him. Because if he wasn't using NIL to help his roster, someone else would use their roster or use NIL to help their roster to beat Ohio State. It's either have it used for you or used against you. And again, going back to what he's cultivated there, we were on the field after they beat Penn State in Columbus, and it was very obvious that team cared about Ryan Day. It was very obvious they were bought into Ryan Day's way of doing things. I have no reservations about Ryan Day as a coach. I have no reservations about Ohio State as a culture. Is there anything that's perfect across the board in college football? No. And Ryan Day, falling short, his shortcomings rather, against Michigan the last couple of years, of course that's an issue. Of course something that you're going to have to reevaluate going forward. But he's doing that by nature of how they're attacking this roster, how they're attacking this offseason. And can you build a program through NIL? No, but you can build a really good roster. And I think they've got the right guy to build the program at Ohio State and get them to where they want to be. So we're not calling our shot, making a prediction. But I do think that what Ohio State's doing with NIL is overall going to be a very big net positive for them when we look back on this thing in a matter of months. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.